What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. As I told you guys in my intro video, I also like to do, guns, guitars, so on and so forth. So I've been seeing a lot of talk about this, of course, for the last couple of years, and that's either self-defense weapons or concealed carry guns, so on and so forth. So today I figured I'd kind of give my opinions, kind of what I like to do when it comes to concealed carry or what weapons I choose for home defense. Today I'm just talking about handguns, kind of show you guys some of what I have, caliber differences, so on and so forth, and kind of also price range differences, what it would cost to get into it, what it would be used for, so on and so forth. I am not in any sense of the word a gun expert, so please, if you catch me calling a magazine a clip, or if you catch me talking about cartridges and I say bullets, I know it's just, tip at the end, whatever. Please, let's not do that. This is my opinion strictly. Let's not be dicks about it. Okay, so kind of started in the spectrum. Entry level was my first handgun, as a lot of my friends is, and I don't really recommend it unless you need something and don't have the money. And that's going to be the Highpoint CE9 pistol. A lot of people that actually know anything about handguns know that this is not exactly the best concealed carry. It's too bulky. As you can see, I do have the little side edition there, and all my guns are unloaded. I've already cleared everything before the video, but just to show, so if I point something at myself, there's no magazines in them. The mags I do have to the side are empty. So if you see me point something like this to show you something, it's not loaded, it's not going to go off. Guns don't kill people, stupid people kill people. Just to kind of give a little foray into that. A couple of the guns I will break down for you guys to show how to take slides off, so on and so forth. This one I will not, because I do not have my push pin extractor. As you can see right there, I hope, that little push pin in the back here, you have to take that out to take the slide off and clean it. Ease of use, I don't recommend a Highpoint. Reliability, I don't recommend a Highpoint. However, if you want a gun that will function and will defend you, and you don't have a lot of money, like I'm talking $175 to $195, will buy one of these, by all means. It is a functional firearm. I ran 2,000 rounds through this thing. Relatively accurate. You'll get them on body every time, I can tell you that much. That being said, like I said, I don't recommend this for anything other than possibly home defense or sport shooting. Just something to play around at the range, and if you drop it, you're not worried about breaking it. They also have a lifetime warranty. Anything on this breaks, you send it back to Highpoint, they send you a new one. So that brings me into the magazine for this thing. Okay, it's an 8-round. Anybody who knows anything about Highpoints knows that you're probably not going to fully load a magazine. I recommend combat loading, no more than 5 to 6 rounds in the standard. The 10-round mag, I don't go higher than 7. Just for reliability's sake. If you want to throw full mags in it, it'll function. You might have a misfeed or something like that. Also, for people that have one of these guns and don't know how to fix that, which I can't say much because mine still does it occasionally, but I have polished the feed ramp. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. You can kind of see it. I've taken the barrel out, literally, and like sanded it down with a Dremel to polish the feed ramp a little bit, because that paint they put on there, for some reason, especially with like ball tip ammo, target rounds, I guess is what you would call them, it sticks quite a bit. Now, going up from there, depending on what you want to do, I have a couple different options. These are all going to be in that same price range, low 3s to high 4s, depending on where you live and where you can find them. So I'm going to start smallest to largest on these, and then I'll go into my personal concealed carry, which is the highest priced one here, but still reasonably priced. So smallest gun I own that's effective. Smallest gun I own that's effective is this little Taurus PT380. Okay, tiny little guy, pocket carry, comes in a nice little belt holster, which I can show you guys in a minute. By far the smallest semi-automatic I've owned, and I think the only thing I had that was smaller than this was a little like 32 ACP pocket carry gun that was literally for fun. I got rid of 2 years ago. So yeah, again, I've ran a lot of rounds through this thing. Great concealed carry weapon. I'd honestly recommend going with the 9 over the 380, but for what it is, it does fine. It does come with 2 6-round magazines, so you can have 7 if you throw one in the chamber. It does not have a safety, so if that's an issue, then you might not want to try this gun. If you want a gun that has a safety, this is not the way to go. That being said, it does have the floating barrel Taurus is famous for, so it doesn't jam. It runs flawlessly. 6 rounds, 7 rounds every time. Again, I've ran probably 300-400 rounds through this thing is all. I'm a big guy. I'll put this up against my hand so you can see it. I'm a big guy. Okay, so it hurts a little bit to shoot this guy because by the time, I mean, my finger's longer than that if I hold it. So by the time you get a good grip, which I'll even throw the mag in to show you this, by the time you get a full mag grip, I got maybe 2 fingers on it. So, I mean, it punches a little bit. That being said, very, very accurate for what it is. I mean, this thing on target every time. The shells eject kind of funny. They do tend to hit me in the forehead, so if you're going to take it out to the range, I recommend glasses. Because I've actually had them get trapped behind my glasses up against my eye before. That's a lot of fun. Let me tell you, it's nice and hot, and but that's one of the risks that comes with it. Again, I'm not taking this one apart for you guys, but it does have a little pin right here that you pop out, and it comes apart. It's way easier than the Highpoint. You can actually do it with your fingers. I don't have fingernails right now, or else I'd pop that out for you guys, but a small screwdriver works great. Yeah, so that's the one I'd recommend if you're just going to like pocket carry. Gun's amazing for pocket carry. Can't see it. It weighs 3.9, maybe 4.2 ounces. So fully loaded, maybe 8. It's nothing. So just to show you guys that as an option. I don't know how many people have really looked at the Taurus series. They think, oh, Taurus, cheaper gun. Whichever. So then that brings me to my next Taurus, which is actually the only revolver I have on the list. Again, good pocket carry. 5-shot revolver. It's a 38 special 357 Magnum, and again made by Taurus, and you can see it is the 357 mag barrel. If I can get the focus, kind of. Okay, so it is the 357 mag barrel. It's made by Taurus, of course. It has the external safety right there. If I can move my finger out, it's a little hex key lock. I don't know where my hex key went. I never leave it locked. Single and double action. Either way you want to run it. Double action means click, or single action, click. Now on the single action, it's maybe a 4.5 pound trigger pull. It's almost nothing, and I think it's 9 to 12 pounds on the double action. A decent amount of trigger pull, very sturdy little gun. My disclaimer is, if you're gonna use this for carry, even if you're gonna use it for target practice, okay, you can tell by the grip, there's not a lot of padding there for your hand. Run 38 specials through it. I've shot plenty of Magnum shells through it. They go in a little bit tight, even though it is made for 357 Magnum, and they hurt like a son of a gun when you shoot it, and that's the best way to put it. They hurt. Again, I'm a big guy, got that wonderful 2-finger grip that Taurus is famous for in its smaller guns, so it's definitely one of those that you shoot it, and it rocks right in to your thumb, and it hurts. I'm going to be straightforward with you, it hurts. When you're shooting the 357s. 38, you don't feel it much. It's not that much of a blowback or anything on it. Kickback, kick, whatever you want to call it. Again, not a gun expert. Don't expect you guys to roast me for it. But again, I think we paid $359, maybe $400 for this all total. And that does come with a speed loader, which I don't understand. They're not that slow to reload in the first place, and the speed loader just kind of jams up more than it's worth. So that's an option. Again, you can get a little shoulder holster for it. I have actually a, I don't even know where it went now. I was going to show you guys. But I have a little holster for it. I actually bought for one of my airsoft guns way back in the day. Fits right in, fits perfect, good little hip holster. So, now, the other one I don't really recommend for, I guess for a guy my size, it's not that big a deal. But this is the only one I have in this caliber as well. But they're $329. I know, because I just picked this one out not that long ago. You can get this in a 9mm. This one's in .40 caliber. This is a Smith & Wesson SD4 VE, which means value edition, or something like that. It's supposed to be better than the regular SDs, and it's also a little bit cheaper. Now these are made, I guess it's like a Glock, essentially. It's the Smith & Wesson Glock. That's what everybody keeps telling me, based on the takedown and all that kind of stuff. As you can kind of see here, Very nice sights, very easy to line up, very, very accurate gun. Well, can't say this one is. This one hasn't been shot yet. I haven't made it to the range since I bought it. However, I have shot an SD40 and an SD9, and they're both very accurate for the price point. I'm not saying you're going to hit, same hole 70, 80 rounds at a time, but they're probably 4 or 5 inch group at 20, 30 yards. It's not bad for a $329 gun, very effective. And they also come with these very nice 13 round 40 Smith & Wesson magazines. It's a decent amount of knockdown power, and it comes with 2. So, but that's a good option. As far as I know, they are only in the stainless and matte black polymer. So if you don't like that color combination, you're going to have to step it up probably to like an MP40 or an MP9. That being said, if you're just wanting something that's effective for, again, home defense or carry, I'm a big guy, but it's a very thin gun. And I can easily get a full grip on this thing. I mean, easily full grip. And once you throw the mag in there, it's perfect size. This is the size gun that I carry, and I will show the gun I carry next, which, of course, is the one I recommend, but to each his own. So this is a very, very effective weapon. It's also a very cost-effective weapon. Now, if you're really looking for the cheapest one to shoot, go with the SD9. 9mm is a little bit more readily available, a little bit less expensive, but 40 definitely has a knockdown power. So, especially if you're not a great shot, or you've never had to shoot under pressure before, then go with the 40, because the ones you do hit on target are definitely going to be more effective, if that makes sense. So again, very good gun for the money. Now the one that I recommend, my personal carry gun, my favorite in the collection, and let me see if I can take this down for you guys real quick actually. I don't know if I can tonight or not, my hands are kind of hurting a little bit. Yeah, okay. So, boom. Teardown's that easy. You got like a 1.8 ounce piece of plastic, and you got the whole weight of the gun, which is going to be your slide mechanism and springs and all that shit, your barrel. So, the way I did that, just slides right back on this little groove, by the way, if you ever need to put one of these back together. It's back together. It's that simple. But there's 2 little bitty things, one on either side. So all you do is grab it like that, pull it back just a little bit to release the pressure, and you're just going to pull both of those down at the same time. And it's that simple. It's off. So, pretty simple teardown. Won't tear down with the mag in it, don't try. So then we come to my personal favorite of my list. Not necessarily my favorite handgun, my favorite for carry, and the one that I choose. It is a 9mm, okay? It is a 16 round magazine, okay, double stack. 2 mags come with it. It also comes with a mag holster, combat holster, and a speed loader. So some of you guys that like guns already know what I'm talking about, or have a pretty good idea. So this one here is a Springfield Armory XD9, my personal carry gun. It is a full frame gun. It is not small. Okay, again, you saw how big my hands are on the other ones. It is a full frame gun. Okay, very easy to grip, very, very accurate, very low recoil, very nice. Again, this one's probably had maybe 1,000, 1,200 rounds ran through it, roughly, the few times I've taken it to the range with me. And it is my go-to carry and my go-to home defense weapon. It's the first one I'll reach for. It's also extremely easy to tear this thing down and clean it after you shoot it. You'll basically just rack it back, lock it in. There's this little guy right here. If I can get to flip up while on camera, it's kind of hard to do. I'm not used to doing it like ambidextrously. Flip that up, down, fire, pull it off. It's that simple. Very simple teardown, much like the SDs, except for SD's a little bit easier unless your fingers are hurting like mine were today. Then there's no way in heck you're ever going to get it to actually lock. Just lock it back on, throw that little guy down. Everything's back to normal. No issues. None of my guns, with the exception of the revolver that has the external manual safety, have a safety. This is the closest thing I have to a gun that has a safety, and it has that guy right there. So if you're holding it like this, You can see I'm not pressing that. It'll never fire. You also can't bump fire because it also has the trigger safety right there. So unless you're holding it correctly and meaning to fire it, it will not fire. That said, it's basically the safest gun I own, with the exception of my rifles, which of course all have safeties. Mostly. I think I have two that don't have safeties. But they're ones you really can't fire unless you mean to. This is definitely the one that I recommend, especially if you're new to shooting, or even inexperienced, not so much new, but just don't feel very comfortable. This is a good one to get started with. Now, you can also go into like the Taurus full body or full frame series, and a lot of them are going to shoot very similar to this, but not exactly. They're a good option, a little bit lower price point. You can get a good Taurus 24/7 for 480 to 520. These things run between 580 and 700. Again, anybody who knows anything about guns, it's a good price for as much as you get, the hard case you get, everything you get with it. Good price, good choice, all around. Concealed carry, home defense, open carry, whatever you plan on doing with the gun. And kind of show you the difference in this and my other concealed carry weapon. Just to show you the difference in the size of that little Taurus PT380, or make sure I get that right. It's the TCP PT738 in 380 caliber. I call it a PT380. I don't know if anybody else does. Maybe I'm just an idiot. But this is the one I recommend. This is the go-to. I recommend you look them up. They're awesome weapons. They are a lot of fun to shoot, and they're also very effective, very, very, very accurate. This is the only one of my handguns that, just playing around, I managed to hit the 150-yard gong within one magazine at the rifle range, just to see if I could do it. The only other gun I've seen do that so far within the first magazine was my friend's Taurus 24/7. So that's why I say both good options. Does have the floating barrel, as you can kind of see it pick up there. It's not as pronounced as the Taurus floating barrel, but it doesn't jam. I've never had a misfire, I've never had a jam, never had a fail to feed, anything like that in this gun. So, kind of my recommendations. Again, I'm not an expert, so if you hear me say something stupid, or if you just disagree with the video, that's fine, that's your opinion. This is my personal experience, my opinion, what I've dealt with. This is what I recommend. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. If I have plenty of more handguns, I can go in depth. I can do a video on any of these. Show you the teardowns, how to clean them, how to fix any issues you might have with them. Leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you want to see. I'll see you guys next time.